Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chupacabra's Lair. I am your host, Larry the Chupacabra, and we're back again to check out another game by none other than the two gents over at Two Scoop Games. And today we're taking a look at SyRush. And as I'm sure you can probably gather from the name, it kind of has syrup in it, and the grid pattern in the background, we are about to become breakfast elitists and connoisseurs of all things grid-based breakfast pastry, or in this case, waffles. So, rather than just kind of explain this, let's just jump in here. We've got a lovely breakfast plate, and we've got this waffle. But, wouldn't you know it? Some of these delicious little cells are empty of butter, and we've got to make sure every last one of them is filled. We are perfectionists when it comes to all things morning and edible. So we've got butter, and now we're going to fill those buttery squares with syrup. Make sure every last one of you is filled with delicious brown sugary goodness. Or maybe like amber sugary goodness if you're more of a Canadian maple kind of person. I kind of flop back and forth. I like a little bit of both. And we've got some blueberries. Nothing goes quite as good with some waffles as some blueberries, or maybe some strawberries. Occasionally I like banana. I like to make banana nut waffles, like banana and walnut. We just click them and they just plunk down so very satisfyingly. Kind of spurt juice everywhere. And then we gotta top those little blueberries off with some whipped cream. Now, I've got to be very careful as I top all of my delicious toppings, because if I accidentally double-click a cell with some fruit and other topping in it, more than I should, or when I shouldn't, well, it'll give me a little oopsie noise, and then it'll begin to speed up very quickly, making it even harder for me to fill all these other cells. And of course, as I'm sure you probably would have guessed by now, as time goes by, as that score counter ticks up, everything goes a bit faster, more of these cells are empty, and I kinda like it. But I do have some notes on it. I mean, nothing's too perfect for Larry. That would just be impossible. The other thing I didn't really expect from this game, but I still kind of enjoy, is the way that they handled the sound. Like, everything's got its own little juicy sound or sploop sound as you put down the pieces of fruit. And even the sifter as you add the powdered sugar has a nice little sound. But I definitely got a kick out of the fact that there's like what sounds like kid voices announcing next waffle. It's really fun, and it really goes into like a relaxing morning when, like, as a kid, my parents would have made either, like, waffles or crepes or some sort of crazy pancake concoction would be on the weekends when there was a little more time in the mornings to concoct something. You could relax and take your time. And it's very reminiscent of, like, Saturday morning cartoons, like, I don't know, like, I think Bear in the Big Blue House was still going on when I was a kid. And there was, like, these little robots. And then there were, like, these beavers that lived on a small lake in a houseboat with some other various animals. It just reminds me a lot of derpy, really kiddish morning cartoons. Maybe even as kiddish as, like, something Teletubbies-ish. I mean, not exactly Teletubbies, because Teletubbies has got, like, a bunch of people in little midget costumes and like a creepy baby in the sun who, like, sees everything and drools and judges you from the sky as a crazy pacifier. And what we're about to see here is we're gonna have to double down on the toppings. It's pretty crazy coming up. About score 200. I think, oh, here it is, right here. I gotta pay attention now. Gotta double tap those squares that don't have nothing in it. A little difficult to do when you're trying to say words and concentrate at the same time. There's people that do this stuff for, like, Let's Play videos. I don't even understand how they manage all that. But somehow they do. Just gotta double tap the cells that need to. Uh-oh. I managed it, but now it's going to get absolutely topsy-turvy. At least I don't have to worry... Okay, we're just going to have to worry about speed. At least I don't have to worry about anything like triple down just yet. But that might be a nice addition to add to this game if you manage to beat, like, score 400 or 500. You gotta triple down on your cells, and it doesn't move quite as fast. Here we're starting to see a lot more cells being empty. It's almost like we gotta manually fill each one of them ourselves. And, you know, it might be interesting if they ever had the option of putting in power-ups so that you could have, like, a knife. If you get, like, a combo or something, so many cells in so many seconds, like an entire row, then maybe you could get, like, a knife that could just do a swath for you. You just do a sweep and it would swath that whole area. Just like when you're spreading butter, or maybe you get, like, a sifter that can sift bomb... Oh, crud. I screwed up that click. Ah! Missed one. You can't miss any, or else the score deadpans. But yeah, it's interesting. I was definitely not expecting this kind of pleasant combination. It's a very relaxing, bubbly game. And I certainly got a kick out of it. Now, Larry, is this a co-op game? Did you put co-op in the tag section? You know what? You know what, guys? I did. And there's these two little people here in this icon. And wouldn't you know it, there's a piece of syrup separating these two sides of the screen, and you can play against your friends. Which I've already screwed up. But oh well. I can just tap with each finger. I'm actually pretending like I'm two people. I'm using two hands. Usually I just use one and multiple fingers. So you can verse off against your friends, and the first person to screw up multiple times loses. Obviously, each one of you has less to worry about. Only half of the screen real estate is dedicated to each person. So I think to get around that, they make more cells empty of stuff, and then they probably also set it so that the whole thing runs really fast. Personally, I think that each waffle should have a different topping combination if you've unlocked all the topping combinations. The game itself starts out free, and then if you want to unlock like the 3 extra toppings and extra game modes and stuff, you just have to pay 99 cents, which is pretty reasonable. I mean, I've never had an issue just buying something for barely $1 in my life. So I think that works pretty well. I don't know about you, but I think if you have all of those unlocked, I think you should be able to have, like, the left side has got, like, powdered sugar, the right side's got strawberries, and maybe, like, you gotta put powdered sugar on the strawberries, or some various crazy combinations. Maybe even some unlocks that you can get through cooperative play to make cooperative play a little bit more topsy-turvy. Because I'm always looking for a reason to play a game more. So this is a game that obviously has a lot of built-in replayability. It's very difficult once you get past score 200. But I'm always interested in saying, well, if I get to these different achievement levels, like if I reach 400, I think I should be able to unlock something. Gives me a reason to keep playing and keep striving to be better instead of just kind of doing my regular score as just a way to tune out and not think about the world. Maybe you can, like, unlock a waffle that's a walnut waffle. Let's just go with one of my favorites. And so what would be different about a waffle that has walnuts in it, Larry? Well, that's the kicker, isn't it? You could have it so that if one of the cells has got a little walnut poking out of the crust, which is something that happens quite often when you do that, then if you accidentally click that, it could break that cell open, and it counts as a misclicked cell, and then that cell's just kajankled, and maybe you lose some points or something. I think that would be neat. Just some pitfalls on top of the regular fruit, so you can add, but maybe sometimes you have to subtract or create patterns. I don't know, I just think it'd be cool. Maybe you could unlock some, by simply playing more, not necessarily getting to a new high score, you could perhaps unlock a new topping like bananas, or maybe you like to create some sort of bizarre pig in a blanket out of your waffle by chopping your sausage up into little tiny pieces and putting them in each little square. I don't know. It's a mystery, but I think there's totally room to expand and explore, and just make this game not so much repetitive and challenging, but also adventurous at the same time. Those are just my thoughts. But as it is right now, for 99 cents, you get a game that's pretty challenging, and also lets you play with your friends. Has various toppings and breakfast-related shenanigans. I've definitely gotten more than 99 cents worth of enjoyment out of this game so far. So, here's the part of the review that we reveal something sinister and special. Two folks over at Two Scoops Games have decided that they should, or have opted to do a giveaway for you guys. So, if you're kind enough to take a moment and watch this video to this point, and you're interested in picking up a copy for free, I think we got something like 5 or 10 copies to give away, then leave your feedback for these guys about what you think about this game, and maybe what you think it needs, or what you like most, or just anything you feel is interesting to bring up to these two folks, and I will pass it along to them, and pass out those keys when they hand them over to me to give to you. So, until next time, you can check this game out for yourself in the comments. It's available on the iPhone and the iPad. I do not know if it's available on the Android platform. If it is, you'll find that link too. And until next time, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, if this was interesting to you, if you just like seeing me review new games, and I will catch you next time.